If you've been gardening for a while, you've probably noticed something frustrating. Fertilizers keep getting more expensive, yet soil health seems to be getting worse. Meanwhile, every season we burn wood, crop residues, or pruned branches and toss the ash away like it's useless waste. That's a mistake. At Soilpower, we believe the best fertility systems are already around us. Wood ash, when understood and used correctly, is one of the oldest, most powerful soil amendments humans have ever relied on. Long before commercial fertilizers existed, farmers built thriving food systems using nothing more than ash, compost, and patience. Today, I'm going to show you how ash becomes alchemy, how to store it, use it wisely, and turn it into a long-term fertilizer system that costs you nothing. Why wood ash is not just burnt waste. Wood ash is the mineral skeleton of the tree. When wood burns, all the carbon disappears as smoke, but the minerals remain. Those minerals are exactly what plants mine from the soil during their lifetime. Good. Clean wood ash contains potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and trace minerals that are essential for plant growth. Potassium alone plays a major role in flowering, fruiting, and disease resistance. Calcium helps regulate soil pH and strengthens plant cell walls. Magnesium supports chlorophyll production. In other words, ash doesn't feed plants directly, it rebuilds soil structure and mineral balance. That's a critical difference experienced gardeners understand. The forgotten role of ash in soil regeneration. One reason ash fell out of favor is misuse. Too much ash, applied blindly, can damage soil, but used thoughtfully, it does something synthetic fertilizers never can. It restores mineral diversity while supporting microbial life. Ash raises soil pH gently when used in moderation. This makes nutrients more available, especially in acidic soils. Many vegetables struggle not because nutrients are missing, but because the soil chemistry locks them away. Ash unlocks them. This is why old farming cultures spread ash thinly, seasonally, and always combined it with organic matter. They weren't guessing, they were observing. What kind of ash you should and shouldn't use. Not all ash belongs in the garden. The safest ash comes from untreated hardwoods, branches, logs, crop residues, or firewood with no paint, glue, or chemicals. Softwood ash can be used too, but it tends to be more alkaline, so you'll want to apply it even more sparingly. Never use ash from charcoal briquettes, painted wood, plywood, or burned trash. Those contain toxins that don't disappear with fire. If the ash came from something you wouldn't compost, don't add it to your soil. So, let's talk about how to store ash so it stays fertile. Ash loses its power when it gets wet. Rain washes away potassium, which honestly is one of its most valuable components. That's why storage matters just as much as how you use it. Once your ash is fully cooled, store it in a dry container with a lid. Metal bins, buckets, or sealed barrels, those all work well. Be sure to keep it out of direct rain and away from moisture. If you store it properly, ash can remain useful for years. And, this alone is a mindset shift. You're no longer throwing something away. You're stockpiling future fertility. Now, let's get into how ash actually works in the soil. When ash enters the soil, it doesn't act like nitrogen fertilizer. Instead, it changes the soil environment. It improves cation exchange, supports microbial processes, and balances acidity. Over time, this creates a soil system that feeds plants more consistently and, honestly, more resiliently. That's why ash works best when paired with compost, mulch, or organic matter. The ash provides minerals, the organic material provides carbon. Put those together and you create living soil. This is real soil power, not just plant addiction to quick fixes. So, where and when should you apply ash for the best results? Ash works best when applied thinly and intentionally. Heavy dumping is a common beginner mistake. Think dusting, not piling. Apply ash to garden beds during bed preparation, before planting, or lightly around established plants that benefit from potassium, like tomatoes, peppers, squash, beans, and fruit trees. Root crops and brassicas also respond well when soil acidity is balanced. Just avoid applying ash directly onto seedlings, or mixing it heavily into the root zone all at once. Let soil organisms distribute it naturally. And one more thing, seasonally, ash works best during dry periods or before rainfall. That will gently wash it into the soil, not during heavy storms that cause runoff. Most vegetables appreciate ash in small amounts, but acid-loving plants like blueberries, azaleas and potatoes prefer low alkaline soil. For those crops, skip ash or apply it far away from their root zones. Experienced gardeners don't apply ash everywhere. They use it as a targeted tool. That's the difference between control and chaos. Here's where the real magic happens. When ash is combined with compost, leaf mold, or fermented plant teas, its minerals become more bioavailable over time. Some gardeners even add small amounts of ash to compost piles to balance acidity and improve nutrient cycling. This creates a closed-loop system. Plants grow, residues return to the soil, ash replenishes minerals, and nothing is wasted. Once you adopt this approach, buying fertilizer feels unnecessary, almost outdated. Soil degradation is one of the biggest threats to food security today. Synthetic fertilizers don't rebuild soil, they exhaust it. Ash, when used wisely, is part of a regenerative system that improves soil year after year. At Soilpower, the goal isn't just bigger harvests, it's resilient gardens that thrive without constant inputs. Ash alchemy is one of those quiet, powerful techniques that separates short-term gardening from long-term stewardship. If you burn wood, you already own fertilizer. You just haven't been taught how to respect it. Start small, observe your soil, store your ash, apply it thoughtfully. Over time you'll notice stronger plants, better yields, and soil that improves instead of declining. That's real soil power. If this article helped you see your garden differently, subscribe to the Soilpower YouTube channel, share this knowledge with another gardener, and keep building soil that feeds generations, not just seasons.